Hi, I'm Terry Ross, founder of Apex Platform, powered by Engage Technologies Group, and I'm excited to share with you some best practices for converting web leads and tips for a high-converting website to help your aesthetic practice thrive. Before we dive in, what do you think is more valuable, a web lead or a phone lead? A web lead is way more valuable because it can come in at any day or any time of the night versus a phone call where you're missing information. A web lead form on your website can get you valuable, pertinent patient information, such as the name, the phone number, the email, and more importantly, the concern and where the referral came from, which is so important for tracking marketing metrics. Did you know that a web lead is 7 times more likely to convert if contacted within the first hour? Yes, I said 60 minutes. 45% of patients' inquiries are never followed up with at all. You guys, this is horrible, and it just means that the industry has so much opportunity to learn and grow. The average aesthetic practice generates 52% of their leads from your website. That's more than any patient referrals, social media, physician referrals, or traditional marketing combined. So the quicker that you respond to a web lead, the less time a prospective client has to research someone else. By the way, do you know how much it costs for a med spa lead? It is anywhere between $250 and $350. And for a surgical lead, it's $500 plus. You cannot afford to leave that kind of money on the table. You are losing thousands of dollars if you don't perfect this process. So before we dive in to the response timing and the protocols, here are a few things I'd like you to consider. Do you know what percentage of your leads are actually coming from your website? Do you track those leads? How quickly are those leads responded to? What kind of patients are coming in for what types of procedures? And are you clear and concise on your follow-up process? Do you have a dedicated person who's actually handling the leads? Now, I get it. Staffing may be, not something that you can choose to do. But I do want to encourage you that the timeliness of your response to those leads is pretty critical for you gaining that patient or losing them to your competition. When you get that lead, do you enter them into your practice management system? So if you've answered no to any of these questions that I just laid out for you, you are not alone. So I want you to dive in a little bit deeper into how to respond to these web leads. Web leads are generally cold leads, which means the prospective client likely found your practice doing a Google search or an online search of some sort. They're looking for a particular treatment or procedure, but they weren't referred to you by someone or a current patient. So they're likely cost conscious and maybe shopping based on price. There also may be some level of anxiety about the results, the downtime, the pain, the recovery, the anesthesia, or whatever it is that they may need. So it's also challenging to convert these cold leads. So again, the response time and being able to connect with them is such an important factor. Being able to communicate clearly your unique value proposition and credential both the providers and the practice is critical. If possible, you should have someone on your staff assigned to monitor web leads as they come in real time so that you can optimize your patient conversion rates. It will help convert to a booked consultation. Of course, we know, again, this isn't always a feasible thing. At the very least, you should have somebody checking on those web leads at a regular interval period of time throughout the day. Within the first hour, if possible, what I want you to do is I want you to call the client. It is important to not leave a detailed message on the voicemail regarding what the prospective patient inquired about, as it may be sensitive information. Then if you don't get them, I want you to immediately send an email, send a text. I want you to enter their patient information into your software program. And I want you to follow up within 48 hours and then 7 days. This is the best follow-up mechanism that we have practiced throughout the industry that shows a higher conversion rate when following these metrics. If there's still no response, what I want you to do is reach out to them with your blogs and your emails and your social media so that you have a level of reach and frequency within the practice. Personalizing the email to each client, use their name for a personal touch versus just a generic greeting. Be professional in your dialogue. Do not be too casual in your greeting or closing, as this may make the prospect feel unimportant. Make sure your proof of these emails that you're using good grammar and spelling. Ensuring a strong subject line while creating a call to action. An example of this would be, appointment request with Dr. Smith, follow-up request with Dr. Jones. Include an introduction of who you are, what your role is in the practice, what you do, and why this information is important to them. Answer any specific questions they mentioned in their inquiry and provide additional resources like a page on your website, procedure information, a brochure, or a video about your practice. Have a strong call to action asking the patient to schedule a consultation or an appointment, and be sure to include the hours of operation, your phone number, and any consultation fee or cancellation fee. Finally, always include a privacy notice at the bottom of each email. I hope that you found this content valuable. Our team would love to connect with you to further help you answer any questions that you might have about how to convert web leads, what your response time and protocol should be, and anything else you have that we can answer for you to increase those conversion rates. Again, if you struggle with this, if your team is not trained, if you're paying high dollar for these leads to come in the door, and you're not converting at the rates that we want you to, then I invite you to visit apexplatform.com to schedule a discovery call with our team so we can learn a little bit more about your practice, your challenges and your pain points, so that we can help you with our tools and training and resources to help you get those conversion rates you're looking for.